If you're an AFL fan, then no doubt you'll know who Willie Rioli is. If you're a Western Australian football fan, then this is big news. My analysis will look into an article by Tyson Otto, who's a sports journalist and writer, where he has revealed shock news of Willie Rioli further testing positive to the use of cannabis. So to give context, this article came off the back of shocking revelations that the star West Coast footballer was alleged by ASADA to have tampered with urine samples during routine testing early in the season. So let's look at how the text was composed. So this news item had the hallmarks of a tabloid news item. The headline itself simply states something along the lines of Rioli tests positive for a banned substance. Now, as a reader, you definitely want to find out what this is and what could this substance be that he's been accused of using. Now, what Otto did was that he led readers on a bit of a fact-finding mission. So for this, what he did was he included some multimedia clips highlighting Rioli's football career to date. There were interviews of coaches giving their comments on the allegations. There was also excerpts from official statements from West Coast Eagles, ASADA and the AFL. There was also a tweet by a former director of ASADA in relation to this item and how he thought the matter would proceed and what would the likely punishment be if there was going to be one. So the article itself was structured in a way that Otto recounted the events that led up to these new fresh allegations. And as he sets the scene, he elaborated on key elements, including Rioli's reasons why he couldn't produce the urine sample. Otto also used colloquialism in the language and the style of his writing. Like, for instance, he said that Willie Rioli was reportedly sprung by ASADA agents. Now, this was particularly useful for the audience he was writing to or for, in that there were Australian AFL football fans. So this sort of Australian language and slang was very common. It was commonly used by the audience. Now, as the story builds, Otto inserts quotes from trusted sources. For example, as he was talking about the punishment that Rioli might get for his contraventions, he inserts quote from the AFL director, from the former ASADA director, and he would give credibility to his statements because he's someone who's worked in ASADA and would understand how this would all play out. So the three key themes that were overarching in his new items was: one, if you do drugs in professional sports, you will be caught. And two, the story itself highlights inconsistencies on regulations between AFL and ASADA when it comes to the use of performance-enhancing substances. And in fact, Rioli, and thirdly, Rioli might not even get punishment due to the technicalities of the policies. So, in conclusion, Rioli was portrayed as someone who had every intent of covering up his wrongdoing, and that was the gotcha moment of this entire news item. And, previous news about initial misconducts, which was seemingly just a slight error in judgment, that was now discarded, and Otto had made this a newsworthy item. He had Rioli as the villain. He had the ultimate plot, which was the cover-up, and the story was also well-timed in that it was around AFL finals where the West Coast Eagles were contenders, and therefore I feel that this news item would generate huge interest from AFL fans, given the timing and the placement of the article.